Mirror, mirror on the wall, Dorit and Bose ain't playing with none of y'all. Let's get into it. I ain't got time. Let's get into it. What's Tea Petty Bunch? Welcome back to another episode of Girl, Can We Gossip? Yes, with your girl, the Petty One. I want to welcome you guys back to the Petty Palace. Yes. First of all, before we get into this video, I want to thank my 131 subscribers. Y'all, I am totally humbled by the fact that you guys have chosen to subscribe and be a part of the Petty Bunch family. So cheers to you guys. Thank you for rocking with my content. I don't even know how to feel about that. What else? Oh, remember, like, share, and subscribe. Liking my channel is a free way to put me out here into these YouTube algorithm streets for people who don't even know that I exist. So I want to thank y'all in advance. So let's get back into it. It is 2025. We are back with the shits. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. These women did not come to play. Listen, like I said when I first started these videos, I think production told Dorit, Mama, you either shit or get off the pot because you have given us nothing in the time that you have been here but your fashion. So Dorit just said, listen, I need some extra coinage, especially looking like she's going to be a single mom dealing with PK and his shenanigans. He seems to be on a downward spiral. So let's get into it. So I kind of want to jump around this episode because as I'm noticing, when I first started doing these reviews, I probably had like 10 to 11 pages worth of notes. And the more I sat back, I'm sitting back like, a lot of this content that they're pushing out is filler. Like, a lot of these things have nothing to do with the shits and shenanigans that we want to get into. So I'm jumping all over the place with this episode. So I kind of want to start with, did y'all notice in this episode 6, Miss Kyle, 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 Kyle's ass was nowhere to be found this entire episode. She showed up right at the very end. Is that telling or no? What do y'all think? How do y'all feel about that? Normally, Kyle dominates these episodes. This episode, we didn't hear crick nor creak from Kyle until the end. And with Big DeeDee, Debo had her foot not just on Kyle's neck, but on Sutton's neck. I'm trying to tell y'all, Dorit is like, listen, you are not going to take away Andy in production. Y'all is not taking away my diamond. I'm out here stretching. I'm about to nut and buck in these streets because I need the coins. So I'm going to show my ass and I'm going to do everything that I need to do to stay on this show to secure my 6 figures, my financial future. So let me know how y'all feel about that. No, Kyle, we didn't see her. Did y'all miss her? I didn't. Because my thing is, if you are not going to let us know what's tea, what's good, what's happening in your life, then why should I be invested? Why should I really care? Don't care. So let's talk about Garcelle. So again, I don't know about Garcelle. I'm feeling a little iffy about her. Again, what is her purpose and intent of being on the show? Now, don't get me wrong. We listen. Representation matters, and I know for the life of this show, I have watched Beverly Hills, and I've always, as a black woman, felt like something was missing as far as women who look like me, women that I could really relate to. And since Garcelle has been on the show, she's been a pot stirrer, and I'm just still trying to figure out where 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 the producers are going with her storyline. Like, what is her storyline? Now, big ups to her being an executive producer. She is doing her thing, making movies, getting them lifetime coins with her creativity. That is that is to be commended. But on this show, what purpose is Garcelle? What is she serving? Just think on that for a minute. So one of the things we saw this episode was Garcelle being more and more vulnerable about what she has going on as far as on the home front. So we see that Garcelle and her family, Jade and Oliver, OJ, and also Jade's girlfriend, Ashlyn, they are in the car riding up to the beach house. They're getting ready to have dinner. So they're riding in the car. Before I get into what happened at the house, I want to shout out Ashlyn, Jade's girlfriend. I don't know if you guys know this, but Ashlyn Arnold is the daughter of the late comedian David Arnold, who passed away. I want to shout out the Arnold family. I sort of have a connection. I don't know the Arnolds, but my uncle is David Arnold's best friend. So I know when David passed unexpectedly, suddenly, I know the comedic world was rocked. David was he was always making these funny Instagram videos using his family as content. If you have not watched it, I recommend you find them on YouTube, find his videos because he was always going live. Find his videos also on Instagram. They will have you laughing. Might run into a couple of my family members who did go traveling with them. So seeing her on there, it just kind of hit home a little bit to me. Like I said, I don't know this young lady, but to see her thriving in the midst of losing an integral part of her life, losing her dad, it was just good to see. And it was kind of heartwarming for me to see that Garcelle is invested in this young lady because she is dating one of Garcelle's twins. So anyway, they get to Garcelle's home. They get out of the car, and the first thing that Oliver says is like, "Man, I remember when this house was a pile. It was dirt." And so they showed the before and the after. And so they walk into this home. It's immaculate. It's airy. It's breezy. It's on the beach. Definitely giving you those type of earthy vibes. And so they all walk around the house admiring its beauty. And so they sit down, they're having dinner, and Garcelle gets very candid and she lets us know that having her kids at the table is a full circle moment for her. And then she goes in to share about how proud of Oliver that she is, because Oliver was in a bad space about 4.5 years ago. He was, he was out there strung out real bad, in a real bad place. And she talks about the time that she had to do some tough love parenting where he just popped up. She had a girlfriend over. They would, kiki and have a little girls' night, whatever. And she heard some noises outside, and it was her son trying to get into what I would call a mother-in-law suite, the extra little part of her home at the time. And so he was trying to break in, trying to get in. And she said when she looked at him, she didn't even recognize her son. Body, yes, this is my kid, but because he was under the influence, he was a shell of what she knew. So she said that was heartbreaking. And, watching her tear up and break down. And so for her to look at him now and admire him and see how he is coming into his own and how he is being an amazing father to Oliver Jr., she just sat back and she smiled with pride, and she's looking at her other son, Jade. Remember, Jade has a twin. We haven't seen the twin pop up this much, but Jade. And so, Jade has gotten into modeling, so she talks about how proud of him she is, how proud she is of him. And so, it's just a nice little family moment. And that was it. But to see Garcelle just open up and just be, a little more vulnerable about that situation. So I thought that was cool. So I don't know, maybe this is what they're hoping to see from Garcelle. Again, I'm just trying to figure out how this is, in alignment with a Real Housewives show, seeing that Garcelle is not married. And when she came to us, she was not married. So I don't know where her storyline is leading, but production, whoever's producing her, they are going to have to come back to the drawing board when coming into season 15 about how and what they want to do with her. So next we want to talk about Bose and want to talk about Keely. So we know Bose is a widow, and she has been seeing this guy Keely, who she was introduced to by his nephew. They've been seeing each other for a few months. They're long distance. Bose lives in LA. Keely lives in San Francisco. So we see them going on this romantic beach date that Keely has set up. It looks like he spared no expense, has a little sexy setup, has the charcuterie board, charcuterie board, no, what these down the way girls, hood girls where, I'm from, we call it a charcuterie board, but no, a charcuterie board. So it has the assorted meats and the cheeses, and they're popping open the champagne and they're talking. And Bose is like, I never would have thought that I would be a relationship girly, because the last time she shared with the ladies that she was in a relationship, and so she was asking the person that she was seeing, so do you still keep in touch with your ex? And this rusty butt sucker told her yes. So while we're in the midst of whatever it was we're doing, you still doing the do with somebody else? Ugh, that is disgusting. Really nasty. So Bose didn't think that she would find herself in another relationship, and here she is. So she's saying that one of the things that makes Keely different and that makes him a keeper is that he is intentional. He brings consistency to her life. If he says, babe, I'm going to call you at such and such time, he's a man of his word. So that is one of the things that she likes about him. She feels like she could be herself around him, let her hair down. He says the same thing. Looking at Keely, watching him talk, he looks like he's very intentional. He looks like he's very in tune to what she wants and what she needs. And he says, that they've got perfect alignment. They are on the same page. It's like, I see you, you see me. And yeah, they're aligned well. And he says it goes beyond the looks. And so Bose goes, but the looks is looking, because, like, we a nice looking ass couple. And he looking at her like, yeah, babe, the looks is most definitely looking. So he asks her, so basically, what are you looking for in this relationship? Where are we going with this relationship? Are you dating for marriage? So he goes, yes, when I date, that's always the intention. I am looking for marriage. I do not want to be single. So she asks, where are we in the process? You know what I'm saying? Bose, shoot your shot, mama. You got to let him know you have to be intentional, especially when you are with someone you feel is worth it. You want to be intentional. You want to be open. You want to be honest, especially if the chemistry is chemistrying and y'all feeling each other. And it's more than a friendship type of ordeal. So he says, yes, we are most definitely locked in. Marriage is on the menu. Marriage on the menu. So next, let's talk about EJ and Debo, DeeDee the Debo, okay? So next we see Dorit, who is DeeDee Debo, and Erika Jane, who I'm calling EJ now, because listen, let's face it, Erika Jane is giving me, I'm with the shits, I'm on what you own type of vibes. EJ has always been on that shit, but I feel like she been on that shit. So EJ been on that shit. So they meet up for lunch, and Dorit, EJ asks, how are your parents doing? We come to find out that since Dorit and PK are going through this tumultuous separation type of situation, that she could feel the walls closing in on her, and it's hard for her basically to be a single mom. DeeDee, women have been doing it for years. So she is finally feeling what being a single mother is like. So she immediately reaches out to her support system, which is her mom and dad, and of course they get on the first thing smoking. They're there to be her support because she's dealing with a lot. She's trying to compartmentalize what the hell is going on with her relationship, how things have fallen apart, why the hell they cannot communicate effectively, why they talk so reckless to one another. And so she reveals to EJ that they both attended a therapy session since the last time we saw them shooting together. Remember, they were in the restaurant, and he told her this codependency thing has got to stop. We will not be communicating every day like how we used to. And I think that really hit DeeDee, and she was just like, damn. That's kind of hard to be married to somebody for as long as they have been married, and then to cease communication. So she said they meet up for therapy, and basically their relationship is toxic. And you know what? I could kind of tell, and I could see the underlying toxicity, especially when, now y'all let me know how y'all feel about this, especially when the break-in at the home happened. Now, Dorit experienced PTSD, understandably so. She said the man she was basically fighting for her life. And he did not seem concerned, empathetic. Seemed like he didn't give one good goddamn about her feelings. And because remember, they even went to therapy about it, and he's just looking at her like, get over it. That's kind of weird to me. Let me know how y'all feel about that whole little situation with him not empathizing or sympathizing, or not understanding why she may have awakened in the middle of the night with night terrors or night sweats, waking up, ready to swing on somebody. Like, let me know. That seems very suspicious to me, with him being an asshole about that situation. So basically she's like, hey, we nasty to each other. I don't know what the hell is going on. But she says she is not in that headspace of being totally done with his ass going through this, this transition. And so EJ is like, hey, you don't have to be in that headspace of being totally done if you don't want to be. So as they're talking about transitioning and toxic ass conversations, EJ is like, basically, fist pound, kudos. You was on fire the other night with Camille. See you next Tuesday. Grammar, you ate her ass up. You ate her down to the white meat, and you let her ass have it, because we all know that Kyle, the way she set this up, it was calculated, it was planned, and the fact that you didn't tell DeeDee that you had invited See You Next Tuesday to your hoedown showdown, because you was hoping that this whole situation was going to knock DeeDee off her square, and it didn't. If anything, it made you look more of like an asshole. And it's like, we see you now, because it's like you're not woman enough to confront or to go toe to toe with DeeDee. It's like you got to bring in reinforcements to help you, because you're too chicken shit. So, and again, I hate that sneaky shit. She took DeeDee's choice away from her by having the ladies over and not telling DeeDee that See You Next Tuesday was going to be there. Because I'm under the impression, if somebody's throwing something, the first question I'm asking is, who all gonna be there? Because then I get to decide, do I want to be around this energy knowing that we have pressure? Do I want to even put myself in this position where I have pressure with somebody? So Kyle knew what she was doing. She was wrong. She was wrong. So again, DeeDee says, I'm tired of being nice. I've been too nice. I've accepted too much shit. Yeah, then they get into Sutton. Now, y'all tell me how y'all feel about Sutton for real. And from now on, I'm not going to call her Sutton anymore. She is Sybil. She has many faces. Now, I've never seen someone in one breath say, I need me. And in the next, you're mad at your life. You're not mad at me. You're mad about how sucky your life is. And that's pretty much what they started talking about with Sutton, and how Sutton goes for the jugular. She hits below the belt, and she does it when you are at the lowest point in your life. And so Erika stepped in with the receipts. She said, you came at me when I was going through the situation, y'all know, with Tom scamming his clients out of that money and the tumultuousness that Erika EJ faced. Then again, last season, y'all know, when Kyle wasn't wearing a ring, and then just all these other things that Sybil was bringing up, trying to confront Kyle. Now with DeeDee going through what she's going through. So that's three strikes. That's 3 strikes, Sybil. You striking. So this whole, you remember when Sybil had the blue ribbon? It's time for sisterhood. If we have any issues with each other, we need to be open. We need to be honest. We need to communicate. We are sisters. Like, that's looking like a crock of shit if I've ever seen it. If it look like a duck, walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a duck. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. That thing's still a pig. And Sybil, you still a pig with your piggish ways. You're disgusting. I remember when Sybil was first introduced on the show, I said this lady is a few sandwiches short of a picnic basket.
Somebody I don't know that well that says, I've got a really bad feeling.
What I mean by that is hold on. That's not nice. Is not.
I'm just saying
nice.
Exactly what you're saying.
You're not being nice.
Sutton.
You're not.
Listen to me.
No.
She was always a Looney Tune to me. Just like you can't say anything to her without her becoming, there's a thing that's becoming defensive and trying to get your point across. But she takes it to, she goes from 0 to 1,000 in seconds. And we're going to get to that in a minute. So then they start talking about the texting gate with Kyle and with PK. Married women, engaged women, women who are in relationships, period. How would you feel about your man texting your friend girl, homegirl? Would that sit right in your spirit?
Do you want me to bring the receipts? Do I need to bring the receipts, baby girl? Because I got receipts. What is she talking about? Your husband.
How would that feel? Because I want to know what the hell y'all talking about. The only thing y'all got in common is me. First of all, y'all shouldn't have each other's phone numbers to begin with. That's number one right there. Because what we're not going to do is lead to some bullshit. But anyway, we're going to get to that in a minute. So the next scene, Dorit invites Bose over. And I really like how this friendship is developing organically. Bose, from my perspective, seems to be a straight shooter. She seems to be a girl's girl. She said, hey, Dorit likes to talk, which is no surprise. And she said, but I like to listen. So she basically said, Our friendship is a match made in heaven. And ooh, you're providing snacks too. So Dorit had the nice little spread ready for Bose. So they are kikiing. Dorit shuts the door to the patio because she does not want Jagger or Phoenix to hear her talk about their dad, because the kids still don't know what's going on between them. So Dorit basically reveals to Bose that she and PK were in their therapy session for 4 hours. And she said PK's energy was nasty when he walked in, and she said he was ready for war. He came in there like on some trash. And it got to the point that he was so triggered that he yelled, "This is why I want a divorce and I don't want to be married to this lady." He got so mad that he stormed out of the session, slammed the door behind him. She, I'm sure, felt like she had been punched in the gut. Probably felt like the wind got knocked out of her, because she's probably thinking like, what the fuck? I'm in a damn Twilight Zone. Who is this? Like, what the hell? What is going on? So she was just saying she felt blindsided. You know, when you're in a car and you get whiplash or whatever, that's what she felt like. So she said she at this moment, seeing him like that, she's mentally preparing herself and getting her duckies in a row so she could start getting them alimony payments soon. That's the only thing that I could, deduct from that situation. So then Bose transitions the conversation. She brings up Kyle, and like, okay, while we're talking about heated conversations, what the hell was that with see you next Tuesday? Like, basically, why did it escalate? And so DeeDee Debo tells her like, yo, me and see you next Tuesday is not new to this. We are damn true to this. This is how she and I basically, we're like oil and water. We don't mix. And basically, like DeeDee said, see you next Tuesday. Why are you here? You want a moment. That's why you're here. You want to get back on camera because you are auditioning possibly to come back for season 15. Now, could see you next Tuesday be replacing Kyle? Do you guys think that see you next Tuesday will cause Kyle to be demoted to a friend of the show? Will production strip the diamond from her and make her become a friend of the show until she is more transparent with what the hell is going on and why the hell Mo left that house? We don't know. So again, DeeDee is revealing to Bose like, yo, I have kept my mouth shut for too long. I've been too nice. I've allowed situations to just slide. I'm tired of it. Let's see. I'm tired of it. So then Bose starts talking about the Sybil rule. What the hell is, what's up with that? So then they go in again, talking about how Sybil hit DeeDee in the jugular with, you're angry. You're not angry at me. You're angry at your life and how it's looking right now. So Bose is wondering, like, why the hell are these women at each other's throats all the time? And then she's saying it's very hard to be vulnerable in this group because one minute it's like we're good, and then the next we're ready to put on some boxing gloves and go a few rounds. So then we talk about the weaponizing. Remember that word, weaponizing, and how Sutton, I'm offended because you said weaponizing. We'll get into that in a minute. So we know EJ is on a healing journey. She is, of course, she has transitioned out of the glorious home that she once lived into, and now she is living in a modest home. And so she feels like she's going through a metamorphosis, and so she needs to create her own sexy oasis. So she has reached out to Martin Lawrence Ballard But I tell y'all, I died when she said, oh, this is Martin Lawrence. I couldn't help. Martin Lawrence Bullard. So yeah, Martin Lawrence Bullard in his pink suit. Okay, I just need to know, Martin, where you get that suit from? Because it was fire. So anyway, he looks at the space and he's telling her how he is going to transform her home. That was pretty much it. The last scene, we find out that EJ, since she is back with the healing, she, she's on her road to self-discovery, which means she is back singing, she is back creating, writing songs. So we see that she is having an event to release her new single, Dominoes, and it's going to be held at the iconic Viper Room. So all the ladies, of course, share stories of the Viper Room and how iconic it is. Kyle lets us know, out of all the places, hot spots in LA, that is one of the places she has not been. So she's excited about that. Now, mind you, Kyle just now being introduced in this episode. Kyle talks about that. Garcelle lets us know that she and Yuck Mouth Johnny Depp made out in the Viper Room eons and eons and eons and eons and eons ago. Jay Tilly, we find out that she and her boyfriend, that they have played poker in the Viper Room, not in the main room, but they've played in the back. She's never seen the front with the stage, never seen that part. So that's where we are. So of course, when EJ throws an event, there's going to be like whips, chains, leather, just, the outfits are just going to be glued onto you. So some of the ladies showed up very sparkly and sequins, rhinestone, all that stuff like that. So where are we now? Okay, so on the way to the Viper Room, we see Jay Tilly and Sybil in the car talking, and Sybil is saying that she's kind of nervous to see Bose, especially because at the hoedown, Bose called her out. She said, no, you are not going to make my friend DeeDee feel a certain kind of way, and you're weaponizing, meaning that at her lowest moment, you have taken what she's going through, you have sharpened it, you stuck her with it, you have weaponized. So of course you can't say anything to Sybil that she does not want to hear. Everything offends this lady, and she is a gaslighter all the time, saying that I'm here for the sisterhood, I'm here for this, I'm here for that, and we shouldn't talk about each other behind our backs. Okay, so you're saying we should be more transparent, and if we have an ought or an issue with you, we should tell you to your face. But when they tell you to your face, you have a whole holy meltdown, and you can't be consoled until you are ready to calm down.
You have a habit of losing your in ridiculous circumstances too.
Name them.
Name them. Well, what you did was ridiculous.
Name them.
Not having.
Well,
So
she's telling Jay Tilly, oh, I'm feeling a certain kind of way. I'm nervous because it seems like Bose is on DeeDee's side and not mine. If she spent more time wearing my shoes, then she would know how I feel. Blah, 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 blah. So all the ladies arrive. They come on the red carpet. What was funny? What is it me? Or what is it with Kyle and these lady musicians? Like, Kyle, what's going on? So we already know Kyle, Morgan Wade last season. Kyle this year shows up to the Viper Room with Kesha. Now Kyle says, Kesha and I started following each other on Instagram, and so we just became really, really close, and watch how the rumors are going to start swirling. So Kyle shows up with Kesha. They're on the red carpet. Whatever. DeeDee arrives. So all the ladies are hugging each other. Pleasantries. What I thought was so funny was when Kyle introduced DeeDee to Kesha. And Kesha was fawning and salivating over DeeDee's fashions, over her dress. And she goes to DeeDee and she's like, oh, you're a fashion girly. And did you guys notice how Kyle was like she was so jelly because Kesha gave her ex-bestie, frenemy, nemesis, Achilles heel a compliment, and it made her sick to the stomach. So I thought that was funny. So Bose shows up and she sees the group and she's pleasantries. Hi there. And so Bose, of course, is wearing this. She's got this crazy bracelet on and it's got these, not holes, but these like, I can't really explain it. It's a circular bracelet. And the way the bracelet is made, anyway, Kyle stuck her finger, giving her a hug, finger gets caught in it. And so Garcelle has to help pull her finger out. So they start laughing. And so Jay Tilly makes a joke. She laughs and says, is it a bracelet or is it a weapon? And so everybody's like, oh shit, here she going. So Sybil goes, are you weaponizing? And so Bose is like, okay, this whole feeling froggy, so I'ma jump. And so Bose goes, yes, absolutely. And so the ladies, and Bose goes, I'm weaponizing against everybody. So Sybil is looking like, oh shit, wait a minute. Finally, somebody sees me and I can't manipulate or gaslight them to, hey. So Bose is like, Sybil, in her confessional, she goes, Sybil, you don't want to strike first with me. That would be the worst decision you could ever make. Woo! So Sybil is like, can we at least get a drink first? Bose, can we talk? So she pulls Bose to the side. And did y'all notice, like, I'm going to need whoever did her hair, because the bob was bobbing. But y'all let Sybil's little flyaways was coming out of her bob. It was not smoothed into the weave, so it was looking a little ghetto. So Sybil goes, can we talk? So remember when we were talking at Kyle's hoedown? I didn't like how you used the word weaponize. Sybil, we don't give one hot damn what you like, okay? And it's about time the ladies start calling you on your shit. Call you right on it, nip that shit in the bud, make your head spin, make you explode, because again, you can never take accountability. And Bose is like, what? You did exactly what you did is the definition of weaponize. You have taken someone's lowest moment and you have used it against them. And you stuck them with it. And Bose is like, you sharpened it, you stabbed them with it. And I'm saying this part. Your mouth is reckless. It's reckless. And Sybil's like, it wasn't, I didn't do that to hurt her. And so Bose is like, but you did hurt her. So Sybil, I've gone through what she's going through. And so Bose is like, I mean, in the moment you were angry, and that's okay. So Sybil's like, I wasn't angry. I was defensive. So you're always defensive. You're not a girl's girl. You're not a good friend. You are not someone that any of the ladies should feel comfortable with calling at their weakest moment. Because again, you're going to weaponize the shit that they're telling you when they're at their lowest low. I.e., remember what happened to Erika. Remember what happened with Kyle. And now DeeDee. So there you have it. And I really feel like Sybil is full of shit. She's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, okay? Then she tells Bose, you speak so eloquently. Y'all, as a black woman, if I had a nickel or a dime for every time a white woman has told me that I am very well versed, very well spoken, I would be rich right now. I would be a gajillionaire, billionaire. I cannot. That is a pet peeve of mine, because how dare you? Like, Sybil, the only reason you have the money that you have is because you married someone of affluence, someone that had money, someone that put you in a circle that was well connected, and through your ex-husband you created connections. If I'm not mistaken, you're receiving $350,000 a month in spousal support. I could be wrong, y'all comment below. This woman Bose is an executive who I'm quite sure, don't quote me on it, but she may have gotten all of her accolades from out the mud. So how dare you tell this powerful executive who just so happens to be black that she is well spoken? Screw you with your pompous, elitist, and class. Like, you're classless and you're egregious and you're vile. Ugh. So anyway, Bose is basically like, hey, you got a slick mouth too, and you have an expansive vocabulary, which makes you dangerous. So then Sybil is like, who, me? Like, she like, nah, bitch, I got your card. I see you. I see you for exactly who you are. So then Bose is like, well, maybe, we don't know who she is. Maybe she appears peaceful. No, she doesn't. Bose, you already know who you're dealing with. Sybil is calculating. She's cunning. She's sneaky. She's shady. She's shifty. She's shisty. She is not to be trusted. She is not a girl's girl. She is not. And Jay Tilly needs to be watching her back as well. I'm going to be honest with you. So, anyway, EJ does her dominoes. I forget how the song goes, but she does her performance. As soon as she's done, she slides her ass right on into this booth. And so DeeDee is looking at her outfit, and she's like, oh, I should have wore what you wore because I feel like I'm ready to fight. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So, again, DeeDee is knucking and bucking, so she gets right to the shits. I am not beating around this bush. I'm coming with the shits. And so she's like, Kyle. Now, PK is being very unpredictable these days. I'm uncomfortable, not sure what the hell he's going to do, how he's going to strike next. I'm wondering if you've been speaking to him. And Kyle, well, we share memes, and we share memes back and forth, but it's really not like that. Now, Kyle, first of all, you and DeeDee haven't been talking for a minute. We know you're going through what you're going through. She's going through what she's going through. But you cannot tell me for 1 minute that you would be comfortable if DeeDee and her beautiful blonde balloon enhanced tiny ass waist ass, long lashes, very fashionable, if her ass was texting Mo, that you would be okay with that. And you would say, oh, she's a friend to us both. Girl, you would be ready to run all up and through. You would be ready to dot both her eyes. No, you cannot tell me that you would be okay with that happening. So then Kyle is making all these excuses. Well, I mean, well, he's been a better friend to me than you haven't been anyway, and da-da-da-da-da-da. So they're going back and forth, and so DeeDee is talking about how she's shielding the kids from this, and Sybil, you can't shield them forever. Ma'am, fix your weave. That is out of place. Get your weave right before you say anything else. And so DeeDee goes, I didn't say I was shielding them forever. So then they get into a back and forth. So basically, DeeDee, I'm trying to be here for you. Oh, I'm supposed to trust that? This coming from the same woman who is weaponizing. So then Sybil just goes off. Basically, it boils down to DeeDee calling Sutton out on her shit. Basically telling her, with the way that you've been treating me, the hell I'm going to tell you anything about what's going on with me because you're going to weaponize it against me. So then she just goes off. I'm trying to forget it. We're not friends. And so DeeDee looks at her like, we're not. Pretty much, because what the fuck? Like, why? We're not friends. We're not going to pretend that we are. So then she and Kyle go with the back and forth. And then Kyle feigns all, I'm over it. I've had enough. I'm not going back and forth with you anymore. So now, mind you, Kyle is doing all this across the table. So I'm a friend. Don't do this to me. Don't. And that's what she's doing. So then everybody's saying that DeeDee lunged at her. I saw her lean in, but then, come on, this is not a Nene, charade, shift the wig type of situation. So DeeDee looks like she's leaning, and Erika, oh no. And Sybil across the table, hey, stop. And that's how the episode ends. So, again, how did you guys feel about this episode? Production, stop gaslighting us and giving us filler baloney. No, stop it. Y'all give us about a good 12 minutes of the drama that we want to see. And then y'all giving us filler pieces. And then you got people like me trying to be a good reviewer and telling you about the tortilla chip that somebody bit into while they were talking and taking a sip of water. Let's get to the shits, okay? Let's get to the shits and the shenanigans, all right? So that was it. Petty Bunch. Y'all let me know how y'all felt about episode 6. I'm just looking forward to all the ladies getting ready. Now, y'all know when they go out to that little spa situation and Kyle gets to crying. I'm ready for that. So y'all let me know how y'all felt about this episode. I thought it was pretty decent, although they gave us 12 minutes. They gave us 12 minutes of drama when it should have been more, should have been longer. So that's it. That's all I got. Make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, and join the Petty Bunch tribe. Alright? And until next time, your girl is out. 'Cause we back with you, but